Hey guys, how's it going? So I wanted to show you guys a couple of things around my house, but more importantly, I wanted to actually just tell you a little bit about myself. I'm 39 years old, and I had my first heart attack whenever I was 33 years old. It was due to blood clots in my widowmaker artery. They don't know why. I was on blood thinners for a year and a half. They took me off of them. 8 months after that, I had a massive heart attack when I was 35. And mind you, I could post some pictures up here, old pictures, whatever, but I always ate very healthy, exercised 5-6 times a week. I was an animal in the gym. I did cardio 20 to 30 minutes every day before I worked out. I know it's not a ton of cardio. I'm not going to lie, I never loved cardio. But it's just something I did, and it would help get me warmed up, and I knew it was healthy for me. Well, the heart attack I had when I was 35 was like I said, a massive heart attack. It was 100% blockage in my widowmaker artery, and so no blood could pass through whatsoever. And it was all due to blood clots, the same as my first heart attack. They couldn't figure out why, because all of my other arteries, valves, everything, I have no cholesterol buildup, no blood clots. They said, look like a perfectly healthy 30-year-old's heart. Moral of the story, they never should have taken me, not moral of the story, but the fact of the matter is they never should have taken me off of the blood thinners after the first heart attack, or the second one wouldn't have happened. And the second one resulted, it was so bad. I was in my girlfriend's apartment at the time, a girl I was dating, I should say, her apartment at the time, and I woke up at like 2 a.m., just felt really sick. I crawled bare butt naked out of the room. It was 2:30 in the morning. I couldn't see anything. I couldn't find my pants, couldn't anything. I just felt horrible. So I crawled literally to her kitchen. I was pouring sweat, and I just started projectile vomiting everywhere. I mean, everywhere. It was horrible. And then I laid there and I kept screaming, call 911, call 911. But the way her apartment was shaped, from the bedroom to the bathroom, or to the kitchen, were the two furthest points in the apartment. So I ended up, after vomiting for I'm not sure how long, crawling back, pouring sweat, and I just crawled up to the edge of the bed and kind of I just laid like a lapdog or something on the edge of the bed. I didn't get on the bed, and I just laid my head on the bed. and I fell asleep, and I woke up about 3 hours later, and the sun was starting to come up. 3 or 4 hours later, the sun was starting to come up. I still felt just as bad. Luckily, by then I could finally find my keys, my wallet. I didn't want to wake up the girl I was dating, was the whole reason I didn't want to turn on a light and disturb her. So stupid, because the doctor said if I wouldn't have, for me falling back to sleep, it was a miracle that I woke back up. And they said it was a miracle I made it through this heart attack at all. And they have no explanation why these blood clots kept building up. The blood clots were the exact same spot in the widowmaker artery as the ones before. They actually grew over the stent that they had put in my heart, and which then made it 100% blockage. So I drove my happy ass to the hospital. To the hospital both times that I had heart attacks, which I say you should never do. So do as I say, not as I do, as they say. I got to the hospital. I spent a week there. They said I have systolic heart failure. My ejection fraction was between 10 and 15%. A healthy humans is about 60 to 65%. And through the next month, I was in the hospital for a week, out of the hospital for a week, in the hospital for a week, out of the hospital for a week, and out and out. And then February 12th, after this massive heart attack, I moved back in with my mom because doctors heavily suggested it is something that they wanted someone around me, close to me. I had to wear a defibrillator vest in case I went into cardiac arrest. It would automatically give me the clear, those that shock to kickstart you back. And I stayed with my parents, and one day my mom used to ask me like every other day, "You sure you don't want to go back to the hospital? Sure you don't want to go back to the hospital?" And she said one day I was just sitting there, and like my face was gray, my lips were blue, my fingertips were blue. She said I was just an absolute, I'd look like a Walking Dead person, literally. And well, she convinced me to go to the hospital. I went to the hospital. I went to the ER at the VA because I'm a veteran. That's where I've been going. But they don't have cardiology at the VA in Pittsburgh. So they, as soon as I got in there, they took a quick look over me, gave me an echocardiogram, and they said his ejection fraction's 5. Like he's in ECMO, which if you guys don't know what that is, it's basically a step right before death. You're knocking on death's door. You're literally right there. And so they tossed me, this is February 12th, 2020. They tossed me, I had the heart attack in November 2019. They tossed me in the back of an ambulance, drove me literally a block and a half to the next hospital down the road, which is it was UPMC Presby. It's a very great hospital, and Pittsburgh luckily has a lot of great hospitals and great nurses and great doctors. And I went in February 12th, and I didn't leave until almost till the very end of the last week of March. I was in a coma for over 5 weeks. I thought I lived in all these different lives in like parallel universes. It was insane. And that's what I'm writing. I'm working on an autobiography, but I'm also working on kind of like a side project of what my experience was, like what I thought was happening while I was in the hospital. So I don't know. It was just a very wild ride. And for those of you that know me, know there's a lot more to my story than that. My life, I know everyone has a crazy life, and I know everyone has a million experiences, but I will say with confidence, my life has been more than unusual. It's been very, very difficult in many ways. Some self-inflicted, some not. And I just want to give you guys a little background on me. I was going to show you some things around my house, but I don't have any more time. So if you can, please like, subscribe. I'd love to tell you more of my story and more about me. I love you guys. Thank you.